The Bible presents two cosmic belief systems. One is called the Old, the other is called the New. The New emerges from the Old but did not come into being to destroy or replace the Old. The New would make the Old complete, not make it insignificant. Each system nourishes a different state of consciousness and awareness. Welcome to the other dimension with your host and psycho-spiritual coach, Victoria Elizabeth On. This lesson is presented with much more elaboration to aid an understanding of the lesson entitled A Higher State of Consciousness Emerges from a Lower State. I know that some students are struggling with the concept, and I'm going to suggest that those students who were having difficulty comprehending that lesson revisit the lesson after this one is completed. You may access the lesson on YouTube using the link provided in the description accompanying this lesson. I will be referencing the Bible for this discussion, and I am going to be doing it without my usual questioning of anything in it. This will allow us to remain focused on the topic of discussion. I think using the Bible as the reference point will create a smoother transition for any student who is just exiting the religious consciousness. The Bible begins as per Exodus with a belief system that is fundamentally religious. The belief system comprises many laws to be adhered or conformed to, and strict penalties are meted out to the transgressors. At times, the penalty is extended to future generations as well. Was the rules and regulations in the old system dictated by one God or many gods? This continues to be an area of exploration since both the words El and Elohim seemingly suggest a group, a family, or at least more than one. The old belief system continued uninterrupted for some time until a period of unrest and wars. Then a medium came on the scene, pointing people in the way they needed to go. The medium was called John the Baptist, and he was to prepare the people to be receptive to the new belief system that was so out of sync with the old belief system that a special prepping of the people was of necessity. However, although John the Baptist worked very hard at this task of preparing the people, the medium and bearer of the new belief system, when that medium came on the scene, the medium was called Beelzebub or Satan because the people could not relate to the belief system. It was so out of phase to the older system. Very often, the medium had to go in hiding, and eventually, they murdered the medium. And after the death of the medium, they deified the medium. Sounds like the religious consciousness, doesn't it? Why was there such an antagonistic relationship between the two belief systems? Let me outline some very important differences between the two cosmic systems for you. Point number one. The prominent God in the old belief system seemed to reside in the dark. In Psalm we read, He made darkness his secret place. His pavilion round about him were dark waters. And again, clouds and thick darkness surrounds him. What about He made darkness his hiding place and storm clouds a canopy around him? In Exodus we read, Moses approached the thick darkness where God was. So it was darkness everywhere this God goes. I guess many of us did not recognize this. Or did we? But the God of the new system is not enshrined in darkness. According to St. Paul, that God is light energy, and that God dispels all darkness. that God does not reside in darkness. Neither can that God reside in darkness because that God is light and light dispels darkness. Point number two. The gods of the old belief system are jealous and they often tempt humans. We do not have to look farther than the Garden of Eden to identify such a temptation. In the garden, the tree of the knowledge of good and evil was given a central position that it could not go unnoticed. It was also highly attractive, and then it would make humans wise as well. So the tree was very appealing, and it was not hidden in some unnoticeable area in the garden. You must see it. It was an outstanding tree. Then God said, "You see that tree? Do not eat the fruits of that tree." Do you need more temptation than that? But the God of the new belief system is neither jealous nor tempts anyone. Point number three. The gods of the old system, or at least some of the gods, expect you to conform and follow their laws. This means you are always dependent on their guidance and suggestion. The God of the new belief system, on the other hand, encourage you to become law. Do not depend on the teacher, schoolmaster, or schoolmistress. Become autonomous. Live a life within reason and responsibility because the kingdom of heaven is within you. The governing principle of the cosmos is within you. Point number four. While the gods of the old belief system withhold knowledge or information, the God of the new belief system call humans into the know. Point number five. The gods of the old belief system punish humans for becoming like gods, while the God of the new belief system invites humans to join the family of gods. But there are two extremely important points I have not yet mentioned. The first one is this. Do you know that the gods of the old belief system are terrified at the invincible power that lies within a unified human race? Look no further than the Tower of Babel. If humans stand together with one voice and one objective, they cannot be defeated. So said the gods. And so attempts were and are still being made to keep humans divided. But in the new cosmic system, we are called to be one, to be unified, to have one voice. So apparently, the God of the new cosmic system is desirous of human manifesting their power and autonomy. Not so with the gods or the God of the old. Here is the other important point. While the other gods can walk in a garden and have special place of worship, the God of the new system is everywhere and can be accessed from anywhere. This God has an alien appearance. This God must have an alien appearance because the God is everywhere. Since this God is everywhere, this God has no form. Form suggests boundary. Boundary suggests limits. Limits suggest inclusion and exclusion. And according to St. Paul, there is no exclusion. Everything lives and moves and exists in God. And when I say everything, I mean everything lives in and moves in God. Our very existence is an extension of this alien looking God because we exist in this God. This God is everywhere. Anything can be found because everything is in this God. So This God is like infinite space. This God, by reason of its formless nature, doesn't walk in garden looking for Adam and can't find Adam. Considering that Adam exists in this God should be able to find Adam. Neither does this God need to take a trip down to Sodom and Gomorrah to see what those guys are doing down there, because Sodom and Gomorrah exist in this God. And those guys in Sodom and Gomorrah were living and moving in this God. Their very existence was an extension of this God. And one more thing, this God has no backside. By reason of its infinitude, it cannot pass by anyone like Moses for them to see its backside. And this God does not need your ritualistic worship nor special gathering. It is not about what this God desires of you, because this God is not dependent on you for his existence. Many of us are of the impression that Jesus had established another religion on earth. Nothing could be farther from the truth. A comparison of the two systems revealed that the new system was not at all religious. And Jesus further confirmed this by saying, you cannot put new wine into old wineskin. You cannot put a new piece of cloth onto an old garment. So if you're part of religion of any sort, it is about time you ask yourself, am I in alignment with what Jesus brought? Mark you, the authorities of the time saw the teachings of Jesus as a threat to their governance. The teaching was putting too much power in the hands of the people. And so canceling Jesus was on the lips of many. But although Jesus' teaching was out of phase with the old cosmic system, Jesus pointed out in no uncertain terms that he did not come to destroy that old system. Not at all. What he brought would confer wholeness on what already existed. We cannot destroy elementary school because secondary education is an emergence of the elementary school. And we cannot destroy secondary school because the tertiary educational system is an emergence of the secondary. And we cannot make babies illegal because adults are not born big. We could say that you are an emergence of a baby. And when you emerged from your parents' house, you place all the rules and regulations you no longer want to identify with at the front door, and you hope that they would see them and kindly dispose of them for you. And some of us, depending on what home life was like while in our parents' house, you are now completely out of phase with their style of parenting or out of phase with how they manifest themselves as adults. But you are still an emergence of that style of parenting. The new system emerges from the old, and the new system demands that you stop conforming and become transformed. Stop depending on a God and join the God family by becoming a God. But the new system is still an emergence of the old. Now, I am suggesting that you review the lesson this discussion seeks to clarify. Remember, you can access that lesson on YouTube by using the link supplied in the description that will be accompanying this lesson. Take care. Think Big Coaching Academy points humanity in the direction we all need to take. This direction has as its foundation a belief system that brings everything together as a cosmic whole. If you find that the present belief systems have become irrelevant to you, pick up your copies of the Revelation of the Eternal Realm and Beyond Religiosity. Step out, step up into a higher plane of consciousness and awareness that supports a more advanced and fulfilling human existence.